Also, this is why I say, like, it's nowhere near as bad as the way that Americans present it, but it's also it's not as good as the way that socialists present it either. I guess I'm a North Korean centrist in that regard. Even then, the conditions of North Korea are still mostly a direct consequence of being shut out from global trade and being under one of the worst sanctions regimes of all time. Wait.
On the 20th of February 2025, I became the first British tourist to gain access to North Korea in over 5 years.
This is my boy, right? Mike, okay?
I have no political agenda, and I do not support the regime of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Boo!
Welcome to the very, very cold Yanji, northeast China. 20 kilometers in that direction lies a country so secretive that when I was flying in, we had to close the blinds on the windows of the plane because we weren't allowed to look outside. Tomorrow morning, I'll be among the first group of non-Russian tourists in over 5 years to step foot inside North Korea. Without any further ado, roll the cliche intro featuring a compilation of news reporters saying the words North Korea over and over and over and over again.
North Korea.
Dude, Mike is so sick. This guy, he's the one that with the Xinjiang, right?
North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea.
British travel influencer Mike O'Kennedy, one of the first Western tourists to visit North Korea since before the pandemic.
Salaam alaikum. This is cool.
Looks like North Korea's back.
Everybody knows the more your military shows impressive feats of strength, like breaking bricks and stuff, the stronger your military is.
On the menu, boys. It's the most isolated country on Earth, and since January 2020, it's been completely closed to the outside world. Until now. While 13 of North Korea's administrative divisions remain closed, one has opened up. Razon. Not only is it the one place in the world where Russia, China, and North Korea, the three bad boys of Eastern politics, stand side by side, it also happens to be North Korea's controlled experiment with foreign trade. Come with me on this two-part series as we step into the most secretive and isolated country on Earth, North Korea. Hello, I'd like to speak to literally anyone outside of North Korea. No, didn't think so. Now, before we head into North Korea, let's clear up a few things. This is going to be unlike anything I've ever filmed, and that's because North Korea is unlike anywhere I've ever been. I like to do things solo, unaccompanied, whereas I'm going to be very accompanied. I'll be with a tour group and a tour guide. It's the only way that you can see North Korea is with a tour. I like to do things unplanned. This is going to be very planned. The next 5 days have been meticulously planned months in advance by the tour company. I also like to do things as uncensored as possible. Now, this is North Korea. The rules are different. I'd imagine there's going to be things that we can and can't do, things we can and can't see. But what we're going to do is what we always do.
What is he walking in? What the is this? Why is it making it seem like he's just like sneaking into North Korea?
And go in with an open mind, with an unbiased perspective, and I promise you, I'll be showing you exactly what it is I see. Now, I've got to get out of this forest.
Whoa.
This is the Chinese border going into North Korea, and it's a border that quite literally hasn't been used in over 5 years by a tourist. It'll be interesting to see what the Koreans check. My phone, my camera, my passport, my 47 copies of the DVD Team America World Police, and I'll try and document the entire process. After crossing the bridge over the Tumen River, the body of water separating China and North Korea, our passports were checked, stamped, and then we were instructed to list every electronic device in our possession. That list had to match our items on the way out, not because they're worried about what we might take with us, but because they're concerned about what we might leave behind. You're not allowed to bring anything that could be considered politically sensitive, such as a book about North Korea or a USB containing external political content. And just like that, we're in North Korea. Let's see what planned adventures there are for us over the next 5 days. Starting with a bus through the countryside. Let's see what we can see. The very first thing that struck me was the sheer amount of farmland. With 80% of North Korea covered in mountains, every available piece of usable land is dedicated to farming, and I mean every single piece. This isn't just due to necessity, but also stems from the country's core ideology of self-reliance, which prioritizes producing as much of its own food as possible rather than depending on imports. We are also told that the country doesn't use any form of chemical fertilizer. The residents are asked to collect their own bodily waste, which is then taken to the fields and used as organic fertilizer. Being a socialist communist country, there are no advertisements in North Korea. Instead, almost everywhere you look, you'll see this government propaganda designed to inspire the people. This one says, unwavering loyalty. We had 5 North Koreans with us, 3 guides, a driver, and a photographer. They were very friendly, always polite, and they did their absolute best to make sure that we felt at ease. But no matter how welcoming they seemed, there was no shaking this feeling that we were being watched. Always.
Yeah, you're a British white guy, the first British white guy inside of North Korea post-COVID. No shit, dude. Yeah, even if it wasn't like it's partially because yes, you're surrounded by government handlers, but it's also partially because half of these have never seen a swagged out white boy like you before. You know what I mean?
So walking into the
For those of you who don't know, I
nature
have a poster from North Korea right there. That one right next to, like right above the Luffy hat that the boys brought back from Democratic People's Republic of Korea, boy. And I did a thing when they went.
now. As much as I love, this is where this trip's going to be really tough for me because as much as I love going around and seeing the things that they want you to see, the deer park, and we're going to visit a bank, which is going to be very interesting. What I'm interested in is what's going on beyond those mountains, and beyond those mountains, and in these villages. I've got a feeling there's not going to be a lot of human interaction on this trip, which makes me very sad.
I know you like to say, I know you say that the DPRK are victims, but like surely they don't have to engage in this cruel and insane censorship and surveillance regime. Like that isn't exactly helping their image worldwide. I mean, there's no helping the image of North Korea worldwide. It's like helping the Cuban image worldwide. I think like government censorship of this sort is obviously totally unreasonable, but the only countries where I think it's like more reasonable than, I don't know, the Western world, because I have way more smoke for Chinese censorship and Chinese government control than I do for North Korea or Cuba. These are countries that have been, these are countries that have been completely dominated by Western powers. I think it's a little bit more understandable for them to be paranoid about it. You know what I mean? Yes, Ankh does have a mythic item.
Give me a bag of your finest. A bag of your finest carrots, please, sir. I'll take whatever you've got. I'll take some corn. Get some corn, thanks, dude. There you go, dude.
Wait, they have a deer park?
They raise them. One of the reasons they raise them for meat is one of them, and also they cut off the antlers every couple of years, and they use the antlers to make some kind of medicine. Go away. Oh, now go on, mate. Oh, sake. Yeah. Oh, you're scaring him off. You were scaring him off. Oh no! I'm getting attacked by North Korean deers. Don't worry, I'm not from America. I'm not from no. I said the word America and they've all gone nuts. The fur changes colour.
Yeah, completely different.
Yeah?
Very beautiful.
Oh wow. The thing is, because we're feeding them,
Yep.
every time they see a white dude now, they're gonna get hungry.
Oh my God, I watched this video yesterday. Austin, you're not watching my videos no more. You're watching these videos instead.
Come with me to visit a mineral water factory. Yay.
Paranoid with foreigners, understandably, but with their own citizens, what is a poor person from Pyongyang gonna do? Dude, they think, you have to understand, it's like an entire nation and its governance operating like an abuse victim. Okay, like there's a lot. This is part of the mismanagement that I speak about when I say North Korea is not exactly North Korea is exactly the beautiful socialist utopia that people present it as, because it is despotic, 100%. Like they have They have lineage rulership on top of the democratic structure, the quote unquote democratic structure that they have, similar to the one party rule that you see in places like Cuba or you see in places like China. But at the end of the day, the Kim dynasty rules all. That's it. I wouldn't consider it to be a communist or socialist form of governance, because there is still a complete control over it's a dynasty, not a central committee. I mean, there is, like, from what I understand, their electoral structure is similar, and there's not a lot of great information on this stuff. So, don't get mad at me, don't yell at me, but their electoral structure is similar to Cuba's. Like, they don't have a people's committee. They don't have like a central committee structure, but they still have like localities, and there is some semblance of an election in localities. But like, even then, those aren't real elections. You know what I mean? They get 100% of the vote. Like, the people that are voted into office within the party structure are winning by like 100%. Like, not even Bashar al-Assad margins. I'm talking 100%. So it's not exactly like Cuba in the sense that, like, you do actually in Cuba vote, right, for your local governance, and then you can make demands of your local governments that it takes it up to the party. Whereas in North Korea, there's not really much of that going on. Ever thought they may be really that popular? Yeah. I guess the major difference is, of course, that they have been over harder than Cuba, and certainly harder than China as well, especially after their main economic partner and their entry point into the global economy was dissolved, the USSR, and then they were hit with a ginormous famine. And instead of looking at that situation, the Western powers going, okay, this is our opportunity to like help fix some of the issues in this country that we basically genocided. They kept up the sanctions regime, which destroyed the country, like completely destroyed the country. So everything that you see in terms of redevelopment in North Korea, everything that you have seen thus far, like the fact that he can like go around and film people and all this shit is actually kind of crazy. Like, it is truly shocking that they were able to recover and rebuild after this massive famine. Brother, no offense, but I think you should read up on what pro DPRK people are saying about North Korea, because your ass will get blasted on Twitter. Wait, what? I don't give a what pro DPRK people say about North Korea. I think there's also I think one of the major factors at play here is the despotic leadership, because it is almost like, I mean, it resembles a monarchy, right? And I think that in and of itself plays a major role in North Korea North Korean leadership taking advantage of the fact that they don't have any sort of like entry point into the outside world, with the exception of China and Russia as well, where you get to maintain power and control this way.
Mr. Moon, you said this is a factory.
Please stop talking confidently. Bush's kid was elected after his dad. I guess America has dynastic rule too. Please stop talking so confidently about topics you know nothing about. Come on, chatter. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. First of all, yeah, we do have a dynastic leadership as well in our duopoly. We do have oligarchs for sure. But that's crazy to make that comparison is wild. I pissed off Jusha defenders. As insane as monarchists are, even they recognize the DPRK as a democratic system. I'm saying it closely resembles a monarchic structure. Do you think they need the monarchy? No. I think that it will never happen unless North Korea is open to global trade and open to international cooperation. But unfortunately, their closest partners also kind of benefit from the current rule in North Korea. In that I mean China as well. It is not in China's best interest to even have Democratic People's Republic of Korea develop closer relationships to Russia, for example, because they have a similar attitude to what America had with South Korea in terms of like a bulwark against growing Soviet sentiment. And for China, it's a protective barrier as well. an ally that is reliable because it's reliant on China.
This is a factory. Where are the factory workers? The people working here?
What's the date today?
The day today is
Saturday.
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah. What I've just noticed, this is a mineral water factory. The water runs straight from the mountain into this building, and there is kind of like a grotto. I'll get some more videos with my camera, with my phone. Kind of like a grotto where there's just water pouring out and a cup where you can go and drink the water. And nothing else here. And no one else here.
Also, this is why I say, like, it's nowhere near as bad as the way that Americans present it, but it's also it's not as good as the way that socialists present it either. I guess I'm a North Korean centrist in that regard. And I still obviously say, which, you know, many people yell at me for saying the truth, but especially post-dissolution of the USSR, the conditions, even then, the conditions of North Korea are still mostly a direct consequence of being shut out from global trade and being under one of the worst sanctions regimes of all time. It's just that it's the truth, not centrist. Yeah.
Let me show you what this thing looks like on a good camera. A little bit of the old. What did he say? Don't drink too much of it, because it could get sick. You could get sick.
That's crazy.
It's good.
I would not do that in Los Angeles. Like, that's
Pretty
bold.
much every individual house I saw in this region looked exactly the same. Simple white walls
It's not, no disrespect. That's not DPRK. I'm not shitting on DPRK. I'm just saying I wouldn't even do that in most parts of, in any part of America.
with blue roofs. In North Korea, all property is owned by the state and the people don't get to choose where they live. Housing and living arrangements are largely influenced by a family's political, social, and economic background. However, many believe that this traditional system is becoming outdated, with financial wealth playing an increasingly dominant role over social status. One thing that really impressed me were these new rural housing developments. My guide told me the government is currently building 500 high-quality homes in every county per year. With 145 counties across the country, that's a huge number of houses being put up.
Hi, how are you? Let's see what a North Korean hotel room looks like in 2025. What do we have? Coffee, tea, water. I think this is a heated bed scenario. That'd be fun. That'd be nice. We've got a phone. Let's try and call someone. Hello, I'd like to speak to literally anyone outside of North Korea. No, you didn't think so. Oh, the windows have been sealed shut. We love that. We do love that. Good for fire emergencies. First impressions of North Korea. We spent 2 hours traveling on a bus from the border of China. I reckon I saw about 20 people in that time. Not a lot of people, no cars, maybe like 1 or 2 taxis in that whole journey. People on bicycles, the people that I did see were on bicycles. They're out on the farm. I didn't see any farming equipment, didn't see any, considering the amount of...
Okay, also, the place that he went to is not Pyongyang, where most of the economic activity exists. Like, this is a totally separate part of the country that has opened for tourism. It's going to be an incredibly controlled experience in general.
Farming equipment there is here. No tractors, no harvesting crap, you know? Where I am now, Rason, is an incredibly unique and a very, very unvisited part of North Korea, even before COVID. And it's very, very interesting. A lot of foreign investment. Think of it as a kind of experiment.
Yeah, it's also winter on farmlands. Like, obviously, there's not a lot to harvest.
by the North Koreans to introduce some form of capitalism into the country. I'm going to learn about it. We're going to look around. We're here for 5 days, man.
This man would be horrified by Arkansas.
Forget about it. Chill out, man. Chill out. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Ugh. This. Okay, I guess I'm buying a whole deck of ciggies then.
So those are 727s.
Yeah.
727 stands for 7/27/1953, the day of the end of the Korean War. The most expensive one and the most nationalistic one, and the one smoked by Chairman Kim.
Thank you, madam. So the cigarettes I bought back there in the souvenir shop, I used Chinese money for. Now you might be thinking, Mike, you're in North Korea. What are you doing using Chinese money? Rason, the district I'm in at the moment, is a special
15 generations since the death for attempted tree stealery. Yeah.
economic zone, which means that its economic policies differ from the rest of the country. Now, let's speak to someone who actually knows what the they're talking about, because I don't. Justin, what makes Rason different, and why is it a special economic zone?
So a special economic zone, such as Rason, invites foreign investment. So we have a lot of
I don't like that his guide here, his knowledgeable party is an American guy.
Russian and Chinese companies that are doing business here. It gives Northeast China easy access to the Rajin port. Also, Vladivostok, the port there, freezes over for about half the year, so it gives the Russians access to a port that isn't frozen in the region.
Yeah.
And it also gives the DPRK the opportunity to earn hard foreign currency, which they can then put into social programs that are used to prop up
The rest
of the country.
And
Justin was my Western guide in North Korea. He's cool as. I got a chatter in here that actually went to North Korea as well.
and the social programs on which the DPRK exists.
At least he's calling it the appropriate name. He's not calling it the dead name. He's not saying North Korea. He's saying DPRK. Yeah, I don't see any children eating rats in this video, which I think is fucked up. Police staged Hasanabi DPRK propaganda. Dude, I didn't even do this. This is some whole ass random British guy.
this is the Golden Triangle Bank in Rajin, and I've just gone and opened up my own North Korean bank account. I'm supposed to say cash card, but it's a North Korean bank account, and North Korean DPRK money,
Oh, that's sick.
which you can not spend, really. This is primarily used by locals to pay their monthly electricity and water bills, which comes to a whopping 5 US cents per month. And this is about £1, and I've got about 13,000 DPRK money.
Supposedly that's going to have
Big TV screen out on the street playing a children's cartoon, and it looks like locals have gathered around to watch it. Let's go and take a look. Hello, sir. Ayong, ayong. How are you?
넌 왜 자꾸 나약한 소리만 하니? 그놈들이 얼마나 좋아하는 놈들이라고. 너희들아 죽을 병을만.
It was quite nice then, even having that very, very minute interaction with that man, shaking his hand and getting a smile from him. That is the absolute most interaction I've had an entire day with any member of the public here in North Korea. It's a strange atmosphere here in North Korea, and it's one I fully expected. I mean, there's quite literally, other than the group that I'm with, no one here. It's strange. There's one lady there. Hi. also finding it incredibly strange to like not be able to just go and do my own thing. In the morning I won't be able to wake up and go for a walk. I won't be able to wake up and go and have food. You just always with. We've got 4.
Okay, once again, rural town that is specifically designed as a special economic zone in the middle of winter. It's not gonna be a blossoming, robust, a lot of foot traffic having ass place. You know,
guides with us. 4 people watching us at all times. For the past 5 years,
chat. People are pushing this bus, by the way. Real. Yami Park told me.
There's been no travelling for you between here and Pyongyang?
Just individually.
Ah, okay. Is that because of COVID or anything?
COVID, yeah.
COVID.
Very serious.
Was COVID here for the whole 5 years? How long did COVID situation last?
So...
It's crazy that they had COVID. Like, that's gotta suck so much dick that you are a country that barely gets any outside interaction and you still had COVID. I mean, obviously you got the Chinese border right there, but I'm just saying, like imagine being existing in this situation where you have very limited outside help and you still get COVID. Like, god damn, that sucks.
Okay, later.
Okay, can I ask you later?
Yeah, later.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
No camera.
No camera. As you can see, my guy wasn't comfortable talking about COVID on camera, but off camera he told me that the virus was sent over in a package attached to a balloon from South Korea. It spread fast, but thanks to Kim Jong-un's quick action, North Korea completely contained the outbreak.
Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, okay. That's probably true. I believe him.
In exactly 90 days. Honestly, that's not too hard to believe, considering how easily the country can lock things down and control its people.
Yeah, no, I do believe that they shut it down quickly, but I don't believe that it was a virus balloon from South Korea. I'm more inclined to believe that it was, you know, someone traveling from China.
There is a strong possibility that I was the drunkest man in North Korea yesterday. Apparently, the soju, so there's a very popular alcohol in Korea, South Korea and North Korea, called soju, which is made from don't know, and it's apparently the one that they have in North Korea because of the products are all domestically produced. For example, the cigarettes and the alcohol, they're domestically produced and they're organic. So apparently the alcohol doesn't really give you a hangover. What are we doing today? We're going to a bookshop, a North Korean bookshop. Government approved authors, government approved themes about the party basically. And then we're going to maybe buy some propaganda memorabilia. And,
that's sick.
And then we're going to go see some schools, a secondary school and an orphans school, which is like the secondary school, but the kids don't have parents.
Yes, I know they have a poop balloon war between South and North. That's not, like, I doubt that was they also dump trash. They have trash balloons. Yeah, I know. North Korea and South Korea will send trash and poop balloons over the border. I doubt that that's how COVID spread, though.
So that'll be fun for the orphans. Hey kids, today we have a surprise for you. A fat, hungover white dude is coming to look at you. So this is a foreign language bookshop, and I'd say 99% of the material here is about the leaders, about the party. Thank you. So
it was from soldiers. In January 2020, North Korean government began taking extensive measures to protect itself from COVID. quarantine facilities, strict travel restrictions. Before May 2022, the government at North Korea had not reported any confirmed cases of COVID-19, although some foreign analysts believe that the virus spread there by March 2020. South Korean dissident-run news website said that about 180 soldiers had possibly died from COVID-19 symptoms. In July, a single suspected case in Kaesong prompted a 3-week lockdown. By 2021, there were increasing reports that the isolation imposed to avoid the pandemic was having a major impact on the economy. The country declined several international offers of COVID-19 vaccines, making it one of the few countries not to begin a vaccination program. Damn, they don't use any. They don't have any GMOs. They don't use any chemicals in their their crops, and they're anti-vaxxer. This is RFK's favorite country. In May 2022, Korean news agency reported that an unspecified number of people in the capital, Pyongyang, tested positive for the virus and announced the country's first confirmed deaths. Authorities announced over 1 million North Koreans were suffering from a fever. Well, North Korea says that a fever is used as a substitute for COVID-19 cases. South Korean National Intelligence Service stated that the total included cases of waterborne disease such as measles and typhoid. In a discreet interview with the BBC through Daily NK, some North Koreans reported an alarming rate of food scarcity as the country has stopped importing food supplies due to the pandemic. One woman reported her neighbors had died of starvation. Others said they were living in constant fear of death. May 5th, 2023, World Health Organization announced the end to COVID-19 global health emergency. Is it true they shot people who had COVID to control the spread? No, I don't think so. I don't even know. That's not even on the Wikipedia, I don't think. Is it? Let's continue.
These are anti-American.
My wife is a defector from North Korea from a city on the border with China. We were able to keep some contact through COVID with them. I can share some anecdotal details about our family's experience in the more rural part of the country through the pandemic. All right, hit me.
Propaganda postcards, knives, and these are American soldiers here. God.
Sick.
I'm actually running a giveaway where I'll be personally writing and sending these postcards to 5 people. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and message me telling me one thing that you learned from this video. Warning, if you're from the US and you get one, it might come with a visit from the National Security Agency. Big North Korean soldier, lots of American soldiers in a crash plane down here. Dude. This is a bottle of North Korean rattlesnake brandy, and it's supposedly a classic drink here in DPRK.
Oh, that's nasty.
I'm gonna get a bottle of it, and I'll update you.
I had it in Japan. Oh, that shit tastes like broth, dude. It tastes like alcoholic broth. It's terrible. Ugh. Snake whiskey tastes just like you would think it would. Yeah, I will tell you, it did. It did taste exactly like it wasn't even salty too, which makes it even weirder, I guess. It basically tasted like alcoholic broth, but with no salt. And no, not chicken or beef broth, like a weird, like snake broth, okay? What I assume snake broth would taste like, because that's what I drank.
On whether or not I can actually leave not just DPRK but get out of China with this thing. One of the guys picked up this book on Juche, North Korea's core ideology. In simple terms, it promotes total self-reliance, politically, economically, and militarily, rejecting any dependence on foreign powers. The irony is, I'm in Razon, a region actively experimenting with foreign trade and investment. It seems like we're living in a world where even North Korea can't survive without outside support. Can you explain to me what these big circles on the floor are?
A mass dancing point.
Yeah.
Special occasions are the birthday of President Kim Il-sung and the birthday of General Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
So we had a grand mass dancing here.
Okay.
Young people, so the students.
On the birthdays of the leaders, students will come around and they'll do some kind of choreographed dancing.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And what does this say over here, this big sign?
Yeah, long live the revolutionary idea of the great comrade Kim Jong-un. Korea is a socialist country. The first criterion for the calling socialist country, the first one is education completely free. It's also very easy to hang the bag. Our marshal gives detailed instructions about how to make it better.
Ah, so Marshal Kim Jong-un had these ideas,
Yes, ideas
to make this
Yeah.
and make this bigger.
Yeah.
And that was his ideas that he
Yeah.
implemented.
Yeah, this is the type of shit as to why I say like it's not like, come on, dude. This is why I say like it's not exactly the most revolutionary socialist leadership, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, there's some goofy ass shit that I would go so far as to say is like definitely beneficial for the dynastic rule that they have as well, in terms of like Jusha being a benefit for the continuation of this dynastic rulership. Come on, the chairs can hold a bag. That's sick. Yeah, ironic because that went to school in Switzerland, so obviously, you know, he knows what it looks like. He didn't invent nothing. Okay, like, come on, dude. The fuck. I think a lot of you forget that, you know, the Kim family does, like, they grow up outside of DPRK as well.
Interesting.
What is? It's a thick forest. Yeah, okay. Now think about.
Like, I think once again, and I do need to repeat this, the incredible thing to watch here is the fact that this is even happening in a country that has been so fucked over by the greatest powers on the planet and continue to be fucked over. Do you understand? And no, they're only teaching in English because of this tour. Come on. I don't get how they could grow up outside of DPRK and then go on to lead the country like this. Like, how are they not like, yeah, these kids need SpongeBob? I think they do that as well. They do that. They do steal a lot of, they do steal a lot of shit and teach children. Or, I mean, they play movies and shit. They have that. It's not, I guess this is an English class.
Why the rainforests are endangered and what you have to do to protect them, okay? Yes. Discuss in groups and play some roles.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Soda.
Hi. Oh, what are you doing?
And you see, we are picking up the flowers. Yes. Look at me, I'm the bill right there. Yes, I see so too.
Oh my God! Good heavens!
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, it's not right.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Just get wrong, because just get wrong.
Hello, my name is Michael. Can you say Michael? Perfect, perfect. I'm from, can anyone guess what country? England, fantastic, well done.
My name is Kim Kyung-leon.
Wow, and what's your name?
My name is Kim Jin-hyun.
Put your hands up if your favourite subject is English. You like English? Cool. What's your favourite thing about English?
My favorite thing is conversation.
Conversation, me too. I love conversation. You're the English teacher. Nice to meet you. Michael, nice to meet you. What do you like about the countryside? Beautiful?
Now, under the wise leadership of our family Marshal Kim Jong-un, the countryside has been changing.
Yes. I don't know. No, how has it been changing?
Now, new houses were built and
Yes.
also gymnasium, park, and swimming pool, and
Yeah.
so on were also built. Do you like daughters or sons?
Do I have a daughter? I have no children, but I think I would like to have a daughter because girls are much nicer than boys. Do you think so?
Yes.
I think girls are more.
Is this staged? I mean, everything he's doing is staged, yes. I mean, but they obviously have some of the best students in the class speak to him. What they say when they are speaking to him is still very cringe and, you know, a byproduct of what I guess they thought would be the best thing to show to Westerners. You know what I mean? Guess which little girls actually government agents? They're not government agents. But they are saying things that they think would make the country look good to the outside world, which is still kind of sad.
Polite. Boys are not polite. What do you think?
I think so, but it's very different on every person. Some boys are more polite than some girls.
Okay, I agree.
I think you are.
Thank you so much. One day, would you like to visit any other countries? Yeah? What countries would you like to visit?
Of course, England, because I'm learning English.
Yeah.
And then Chinese and so on.
Very cool. I've been to China. Very nice, very beautiful country.
How many times have you been to China?
I've been to China 3 times. Yeah. 1 year ago, I traveled across all of China with a truck driver.
None of these girls have ever enjoyed the Red 40 in Takis or seen a hospital bill before. It breaks my heart. True. Oh, they also foolishly think education is supposed to be free. They need that real liberation. They need liberation theology. And by that, I mean, they need to be liberated from this backwards thinking. We must give them chemicals now.
His name was Mr. Chen, and he was awesome.
How long did it take?
It took me about 5 days. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're about to see possibly the most cringy performance anyone has ever given on a volleyball court in the history of forever.
Oh no.
What you're about to see is the very latest #1 chart-topping single released by the DPRK, performed by the Children's Academy of Rajin. It's called Friendly Father.
Yeah, this shit's awesome. I know everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, only propaganda music, but I think it's dope. Like think about the coordination here, and then think about like the I'm reminded of the Trump choir. What was it? The ladies who did the Trump song? This. Wait, hold on. Deplorable choir. Hold on. Oh, here it is. I found it.
We're the Deplorable Choir.
Come on. And then compare that to this.
While we enjoy some little North Koreans.
See, it's like One is so much better than the other. Okay, calm down.
Space aliens dancing, I thought I'd share my thoughts on this experience. Almost every song that comes out of the DPRK is, as expected, a tool of worship towards the country's current or former leaders. The recurring theme throughout this trip was the utter devotion people had towards Kim Jong-un. While I'm fully aware that they probably don't have much choice in the matter, since openly speaking out against the leadership would lead to arrest, the public image of Kim Jong-un is more than that of a leader. To them, he's a god.
The worst part about dynastic rule is that, like, the grandpa is usually goated, and then the pop is not as good. And then by the third generation, you have a total fail son. Okay? That's what happens. That's the problem with dynastic rule, okay? You'll have like a real ass, rugged ass, revolutionary dude who is like legitimately popular, and then the power exchanges, the power is handed off to the son who is nowhere near as good, and for the most part lives in a lap of luxury. And then basically by the third generation, you have the worst. Just an absolute complete failure of a fail son. There's a succession for every Logan Roy of the world. Exactly. Our dynastic fail son is going to be barren? No.
Since the making
Oh,
of this
God.
video, North Korea has once again completely suspended tourism just 3 weeks after reopening.
Damn, this dude fucking shut down an entire country's tourism and propaganda strategy, dude. What the fuck? No, I'm kidding. It probably wasn't him, but Hasan Reactions, one of the best ones in the React channel.